comes down to mindset, honestly. Like if you really truly want to work in something, do something with your life, you're going to do what it takes. And sometimes it takes volunteering your time.
Today, I'm going to be talking to Sierra Ross. She is a social media lead manager. I'm not sure what the title specifically is. It's a little bit, it's the lead social media manager at St. Thomas Stars. Very excited to have her on. She's from Canada. I think she's born there, I have to guess, but she's working there. So I am going to ask her about poutine. So do not stress. I know you were all thinking it. So don't worry, that's going to be the first question. We're getting the good stuff right away. So do not stress at all. All joking aside, very excited to have her on here in about a minute or two. I'm excited to talk to her about her volunteering experience. Look, a lot of you might be turned off by the phrase volunteer. That does not mean you have the right to go and leave this episode. No, you stay on. You stay and you listen because this is going to be super helpful. I'm someone that dismisses volunteering. I want to see if she can convince me to go volunteer for something, whether it's a one-off event or it's a whole-on event. That made a whole lot of sense there. Very excited. I'm very, very excited. I really can't wait. Um, I've never talked to someone from Canada. This is exciting. This is very exciting. So welcome to the Huddle to Huddle podcast. Very excited to talk to Sierra Ross today about. Oh, perfect. There we go. Hi.
Hi,
How are you doing?
good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so I'm just gonna have us jump right into it.
Perfect.
I have to ask first, is poutine as good as everyone says it is?
It is. Have you never tried it?
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's incredible. It depends on where you get it, but it's pretty good.
I'm not it depends on where you get it in Canada.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
I
Well, in Quebec, it's way better. And then in Ontario, like McDonald's has poutine, but that's not going to be as good as like a little like fry truck or
right.
something.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. No, I don't even know where I would try it here. So,
Where do you live?
Colorado.
Oh, God, yeah, I had no idea. I don't know.
Exactly.
I guess it's not like as much of a common thing there.
No,
Like here,
definitely
like
not.
every fast food restaurant has a poutine. So
Oh, that's so cool. So cool.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have us go right into can you explain to me why someone should volunteer for something or volunteer in sports?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I kind of have like an unconventional route to getting to where I want to be. I didn't know what I wanted to do before I went to school, and then I kind of hopped from school to school, getting what I needed. And I still didn't have sports specific experience, and I found that I didn't really have what I needed to get into a job with sports. And then my local hockey team that I grew up watching, they advertised that they're looking for social media help for like the season. And I was like, that's perfect for me. They have nothing going on right now, so it can only get better. So I reached out, and it was just a really good opportunity to get my feet in the door and get to kind of run with it and do what I needed. Um, and they required nothing from me. I didn't have to even have experience. I did, but they didn't require anything from me because it's volunteer, right? So I just think volunteering specifically is like they're just looking for people to help them. And if you have the skill set already, that's great. If you don't, you're going to learn it, right? So it's a great way to rate a great low stakes way to learn and get some experience. And it's a great, like for me at least, I don't know, obviously it's not the same with everything, but I've had a great growth opportunity. I'm now the lead social media manager. I kind of took something that was nothing and turned it into something. So it's a great resume builder. It's free. And if you're passionate about what you're doing, you're not going to care that you're not getting paid for it.
No, I think that's 100% true because you can get stuck in like, ah, I'm not going to do it because I'm not paid. But if you care about it, it probably shouldn't matter if you're getting paid. You'll get paid eventually.
Exactly. It'll turn into something down the road, right?
Exactly. That's pretty cool to hear that because I think when I was looking at your LinkedIn, like you jumped up to it though. It seemed like relatively quick from volunteering to like a lead position, no?
Yeah, so I think it happened because they didn't have anyone doing social media before. So
Mhm.
I kind of was the beginning of that and started something big, and it turned into like really fast growth. And I became an asset to the team in a lot of ways, and they're incredible there. They're great at recognizing that. I was volunteer of the year my first year, which was amazing. And I just it turned into a position on the board of directors because it's easier for me to not have a middleman to have to go like say, hey, can you bring this to the board and like see if I can do it versus I am the board now. So I can bring it to the board and be like, hey, I'm going to do this. So you guys good with that kind of thing. So it obviously depends on the organization and the position and stuff. But I was very fortunate to be the first and get to kind of build that. And hopefully when I move on, I have a foundation for the next person. So
Yeah. That's actually so cool. It's just cool to think about like if you weren't so good at what you did, they probably would never, they would just eliminate it altogether. Like they would see no value in social media. So you kind of brought the value of social media there, which I think speaks to probably how good you are at what you're doing. So wherever, it takes you next is a good, like, you started something. Obviously, you're doing something right. So, um,
thank you.
do you know if or if there is there value in also volunteering for like a one-off event, like opportunity, or if it's like you're volunteering for something that's like a 3 day, like a championship event versus volunteering for like a year?
Mhm. Absolutely. I think that there's no bad way to volunteer. Everything's experience. I actually applied to work or volunteer at the World Juniors this past year. I didn't get it. But something like that, it's a week. It actually would have cost me money to volunteer, but if you want something, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. And every kind of experience like that looks good on a resume. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for like that initiative, like you're taking that initiative, like you're not getting paid for it and you're still doing it. It shows passion. So anything, especially a tournament like that, you're going to be learning from people who do this as a career and being a part of something big. So like for me, I think that that would have been, even though it was a week, it would have been just as beneficial to me as the stars are, because I would have been learning from people versus kind of teaching myself and bringing something up. So I think absolutely, I think any opportunity to exercise your skills, learn new ones, and learn from people in the industry is valuable, whether it's an hour or a year.
Yeah. Okay. That makes total sense. I think I am guilty of dismissing some volunteering if it's like a one-off event because I'm like, how do I even put that on a resume? Because I don't know. How
Yeah.
do I just throw on there like work to this event, which I mean, there's no issue doing that, I guess probably would be exactly what you do, but I guess I'm not sure why I would dismiss it. What would you say to someone that's like, I don't want, like, no, I don't want to volunteer?
I think it all comes down to mindset, honestly. Like if you really truly want to work in something, do something with your life, you're going to do what it takes. And sometimes it takes volunteering your time. And for me, like it doesn't feel like work. And I know like once I get to that career, it won't feel like work to me because that's my passion. And I think that if you're not willing to give your time like that and do those kind of things, whether you can put it on your resume or not, like if I couldn't put the stars on my resume, I would still be doing it because I know that I have that experience. I can apply that kind of thing. So I think that if you're not willing to do those kind of things, you need to find a way to be passionate about it and reset your mind to look at it in a different way. Because like, and it also depends on the level that like I probably wouldn't put like if I went and did a one-off little road hockey tournament or something here, maybe not going to put that on my resume, but the World Juniors, that's going to go on my resume. So it all just matters like the kind of level, and it's always talking points that you can bring up in your cover letter or in an interview as well.
It's totally true, actually. I never thought about that. But and then interview question, that's actually pretty good to like be able to throw in there, like because it's
Yeah.
something they would have no idea about if it's not on your resume too. Uh, that's pretty cool, actually. That's a good answer. You're convincing me to go volunteer for something. If something pops up, um, I guess I'm curious, what kind of skills did you gain while you were volunteering that helped you like grow into the role you are or your career skills now?
Mhm. Honestly, just learning to work in hockey. Obviously, I've played hockey my whole life. I've been a fan of hockey, and I've done social media, but I had to put them together. So putting them together, and it really challenged my Canva skills specifically, as well as getting creative because I have a social media management business, but I work with a spa and a osteopath, which is not the same. I don't have fans wanting to interact kind of thing. So it's been a very like incredible thing to learn about how to satisfy the fans, what they want to see, and see how they react to what we post. So in terms of skills, just those kind of things, like the graphic design part, the actual social media part, but also the leadership part. Because this year I've gotten to take on a leadership role with two new people, and that's been incredible. I've seen them grow so much over the last year, and hopefully down the line I can hand off um, operations to them, right? So those leadership skills that I've gained have been incredible, and that didn't only come from leading a team. I think I gained some leadership skills even when I was just myself because I had to take the lead on things. I wasn't given directions. I'm still not given directions. I kind of had to just improvise and initiate things. And I think those are incredible skills to have. And I'm very grateful that I got to develop those in my time at the Stars. So,
That's pretty cool. I was gonna say I saw uh one of your posts, something with the season ending. So we got to shout out Mason for winning Volunteer of the Year too,
absolutely,
because
Mason.
you won it, so Mason won it, so maybe Mason will find himself uh in a similar type of position too. So that's pretty cool.
Hopefully.
It's cool that it's your volunteer too. Like,
Yeah,
so I mean
really proud.
that shows your leadership skills right there. So what kind of long-term impact do you think that volunteering in sports will have? I think you maybe have kind of I'd say you've kind of touched on it, but if you have any more detail on that.
Yeah, I think that it has been the most valuable experience. It's kind of solidified my desire to work in sports.
Yeah.
And while I maybe not like an internship, say like through school or whatever, would be incredible because I'm going to be learning. Whereas volunteering, you're most likely probably not going to be learning from people. Like you're developing those skills on your own, which is a whole different ballgame. It feels very hectic and unorganized, but I think that's where you really learn those things because you have to, like, you're fending for yourself, basically, it feels like. So that's kind of I think it's going to be very important for me moving forward because it shows that I have that initiative. I have those skills to be able to be on my own and figure it out. And just having that experience on my resume is going to be on my resume, yes, but owning those skills and having them is the important part. So I won't be going into anything blind. I'll have some experience. I'm currently in school right now and hoping to or intern with a hockey team
Yeah.
in the fall. And I think that having that volunteer experience positions me to be an incredible candidate for my top hockey team that I want to volunteer for, which I would assume is a lot of people's because they're the best team in the OHL and their franchise is incredible. They do an incredible job in every aspect of advertising, marketing, all that stuff. So I think getting that experience before I go to the internship, which is going to be that next step up in experience, is just positioning me to be able to be competitive with other applicants, kind of thing.
Okay, 100%. I like that. I think that you are in a pretty good position. I like the idea of the volunteering. You're not getting paid, so it's you obviously are passionate about what you want to do. You've shown that you have the skills. I feel like I would have very high confidence in being able to get a job. But I'm curious now, you mentioned that you're in school too. So something that it just kind of clicked in my head, I can see someone being like, if they're a volunteer, but they're also in school and they're feeling as though school is a little bit much, what would you say to someone's mindset that's like, I'm not getting paid for this job, so I'm not going to prioritize it. It's like it just doesn't matter as much versus if you're getting paid, you might think differently.
Right. Um, I I can speak to that because I'm in school
Yeah.
part-time. I work a 9 to 5. I have my own business and I volunteer. So I'm very, very busy. But it's all of it's very calculated. It's all going towards my career. And it would be very, very easy for me to say, hey, stars, I can't work with you anymore because I have all of this stuff going on. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did consider it because I'm very overwhelmed. I have a lot going on. But if anything, that's the one thing that I want and should keep going because that is what is specifically going to be applying to my future career. I think that it really like in especially in sports, it's extremely competitive, and as a woman as well, um, and just you need that kind of experience, and you have to be willing to do it. I think that again, it all comes down to mindset and figuring out how to shift that from I it's not important because I'm not getting paid to it's important because it's moving me along in my career and it's going to be very valuable down the road. And like you pointed out, it shows that you have that passion that you don't care about getting paid for it. You just know how important it is and you are enjoying it and you know that it's going to be valuable for you down the road. Um, so I think like just again that mindset shift is incredibly important to have.
I think you're 100% on it. You have like that's a definitely a good answer. I've thought about that too because it's like you have a lot going on. That's like the one thing that you maybe are like, oh no, like
Mm-hmm.
you have to kick it down the road. But I like you're right. You have to keep that with one thing. That's the thing that is going to get you where you want to go in your career. So it definitely seems like it's a mindset thing, and you do have a lot more obstacles as a woman trying to work in sports. Like it definitely is tougher. That's the one thing that gets harped on in all of my classes in school is that it is tough. They try to give some opportunity, like they have specific things for women, but it's definitely tough.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely getting a lot better. And my one thing is that I don't want to get a job just because I'm a woman. I don't want
Right.
them to offer me something because I'm a woman. I am doing what I'm doing now because I want to be the best candidate, and
100%.
that takes work, whether I'm a man or a woman. So, um, I think yes, just that mindset shift is really important.
100%. All right. This is the last question I have, and I ask it to everyone that I've talked to. So if you could just rank the following things from least important to most important when it comes to trying to get a job in sports or even a volunteership in sports, between education, networking, and experience.
Ooh, hard one. Um, I'm gonna go experience at the top, networking in the middle, and education at the bottom. Because, and this is something I've learned from my dad. You can learn anything in any way. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to go to school to get that knowledge. Obviously, jobs like to see that bachelor degree on your resume, but if they're going to choose between someone who has a bachelor degree and no experience versus someone who has a ton of experience and no bachelor degree, probably going to go with the person with the experience. And then with that experience, you can take that to networking. Because with networking, if you don't have the experience, you're kind of just putting yourself out there to start. It's networking is never bad, but you can show that experience and kind of build that network um, and show like kind of put yourself out there and show what you've been doing versus what you're going to do. Um, and then obviously education, you can learn like you go to the library, they have like those online resources. LinkedIn has resources, Google, ChatGPT. There's so many resources out there that you don't necessarily need a formal education for. I just personally learn better by paying thousands of dollars to learn it from people. So
Yeah, I 100%. I think that The most common one is networking experience and education, but I like experience at the top. I feel like it's hard to get networking without having experience because that's where you grow your network is wherever you're getting experience from.
Exactly. And you don't know, like I went to the Detroit Red Wings. I think that's how you found me as my post about that. Um, I went to that networking meeting and I think like if I didn't have any experience, what the hell am I going to talk to them about? Sorry, I swore. What am I going to talk to them about? I don't know anything about the industry. I've never been in it. I need to ask them questions and to know what I want to learn. But if I didn't already kind of get a little bit of experience, mind you, I'm work like volunteering with a junior B, very small town Canada, Canadian hockey. It's not the most lucrative experience. It is what you make it, but it's small. But I have that experience because I've given myself that experience, and I think that's very important to have when networking because you need to know about the industry that you want to go into, right?
You just sparked a question. I have to ask you one more thing. Um, Something with working with like a smaller type organization, do you feel like there's a bigger value in getting that opportunity? Because I feel like you have more actual hands-on experience versus someone that maybe works for a big company and only does one thing. It feels like you do a lot of things.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I kind of have my hand in a lot of different pots because it's me, like it's just me running the social media thing, and it is what I've made it. So I've kind of gotten to run with it, and I am the chair of the PR committee as well, and just kind of getting to wear all those different hats versus if you're going to go intern, you're probably going to do one position. Um, so I think it's been in obviously this is different for all different organizations or whatever, but um, I think it's very valuable to have all different levels of experience because, like I said, that leadership aspect that I got to enjoy, I'm probably not going to get that leadership aspect at in the OHL or whatever because I'm going to be learning. Whereas I might not be learning from people, I'm having to teach myself things, but I get that kind of comprehensive um, learning experience from the smaller organization.
Yeah. Do you um do you have Canva Pro or whatever the paid version is?
Yeah.
Is it better?
Oh, so much better. Oh, it makes my life so much easier. I mean, Canva is very limited. I wish I had the time to learn Photoshop. I'm kind of at my limit right now with learning things. But Canva's been incredible and definitely worth the pro. It's 19 bucks a month for Canadians, probably less for Americans. And it's definitely worth it.
Okay, good to know. I use Canva, but everything is like locked in. Like you have to have a pro version.
Yeah, it's very limited when you don't pay for it.
All right, well, that's all I got for you. So thank you for coming on, talking to me. I feel like I learned a lot. You've convinced me to go volunteer for the next thing that pops up, at least in my area. Maybe even if something pops up in North America, I guess. I can always go do that. But thank you a lot for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed this. It's great.
Thank you. Good luck in your sport journey. Hopefully, good luck. Wishing
Thank
you
you. You're
well.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, that was Sierra Ross. Very nice to meet her. She's super experienced, well spoken. I have zero doubt in my mind that she'll be able to find a long-term successful career. She's a grinder. She said she has a 9 to 5, volunteers, is in school. She's gonna be just fine in sports. 110% believe it. That was a great interview. Very much so enjoyed talking to her about the volunteering. I was not just saying it to her. I actually will go volunteer now. I actually see a lot more value in it after this conversation. I maybe didn't see as much value in it, but this definitely changed my mind on volunteership. So hopefully it changed your mind too, or at least you're thinking about it now and trying to work in the sports industry. This was Huddle to Hustle with Austin McGinley. Hope you enjoyed. Can't wait to see you again next week. See y'all on the next one.